Okay, we're here today to show you how to install a catch can on your Jeep 4xe or 2.0 liter engine. We've got what would have come in your package would be your catch can with bracket, straight fitting on this side and an elbow fitting on this. We're going to have two hoses. We're going to supply a 90-degree cup connector. We're going to show you where we're going to replace the 45 that's currently on the vehicle with this 90. You may get one in white or one in black. Either way, there'll be a 90 provided, and then a straight coupler. Again, this might be in black when we have it done complete. As for your hoses, we've got the decorative end fittings on it, but if not, then it would be just your regular rubber hose is all you have to have. If you choose to add decorative hose cover and fittings, that's an option that you can do. The only tool you'll need is a 10mm socket and a ratchet drive to get that. The first step we're going to do is remove this engine cover. So there's two 10mm bolts right here that we're going to back out. So we'll get both of those out, and then it's got two kind of like friction fit pins back here to go into a rubber grommet. So if we pop that off, you'll see that there's a little rubber grommet and two friction fit pins. We can set this aside for this when we're reassembling. Our catch can is going to go basically on this fitting right here where we took one of those bolts out, and we're going to end up using that same bolt to hold it back on there. So you can see that is going to fit right there, and it's going to kind of hang by itself so that we can assemble that cover back on. The other thing we need to do is prep the hoses though, so we're going to set this back aside. And then the hose that we need to swap out, basically we're adding that catch can filter in between, is this hose. It's a hardline hose going into a rubber elbow into the engine block here. And then it's also coming up with a 45-degree fitting into the air intake here. So to remove this, if we press on this actually gray fitting right here, it'll actually open up this fitting and let it pull off of the metal barb. And we want to leave this rubber elbow in place, okay? So we're going to pull that hard line out of there. Now we're ready to basically install two of the couplers. The new fitting, this 90, has got the same type of attachment that's going to go back onto the air intake. That should snap into place. You're going to want it kind of facing this way where we're going to put the catch can. And then this coupler's got a bigger side and a smaller side. The bigger side is going to go into the OEM elbow. And then leave the other end hanging out that we're going to be able to put our new fuel line onto to go to the catch can. Okay, so we've assembled our hoses like so. With the shorter hose here, on those decorative end fittings, there is going to be one bigger and three kind of smaller diameter. The big one needs to go to this 90-degree elbow that we've put on, and the smaller ones can go to the catch can and to this back to the coupler fitting to put onto the engine. So then we can walk this over to the vehicle, and this is where you'll have to play a little bit with how your hoses are going to be run. These elbows, especially the one that's a 90-degree, you can have it in different positions. If it doesn't tighten out where you want it to, just take it back out, put a little more Teflon tape on it to get it to tighten where you want. I know that we're going to need to go down a little bit here, and then we'll kind of just play with how it fits in there from there. If need be, you can put the bolt in here just temporarily to hold it while you route your cable. Doesn't have to be tight. At least now we know it's just not going to fall off of it. Okay, so we've got our hoses routed. We're going to come over the top here with the one that's connected to the 90, and we've gone up underneath this OEM hose to the one that's in the back where the coupler is, okay? You can see the catch can sitting here in the right position now, and one thing to mention is that these decorative end fittings here and here are basically going to be hidden, so you don't even need those. Even if you were going to go with the decorative end fitting look, these will be visible, but these are going to end up being hidden, so you don't have to have those. Next, we're going to bring that engine mount back. One thing to note is that we do provide a spacer. Now that the catch can is going to be underneath on this side, we don't want this to sit crooked, so we provide a little spacer with some double-sided adhesive on it that you can put on for this other side. We'll go ahead and bring this back, line up the 2 pins to the grommet, but let's not push it down yet because we want to have some freedom to move things here and make sure we can get our bolts started. You can see that we're not putting much force, if any, on this. And once we mount it down and the catch can sits straight, we'll have even less force on that hose. So as long as that all feels nice and pretty free, we can go ahead and put those bolts in. Got that one started with my finger. This one might be just a little trickier because it's got to go through the catch can as well. But if you just maybe hold the catch can a little bit, get everything to line up, and now that's started. We'll come back with that 10mm ratchet and we'll tighten these 2 bolts up, and we can pop in 2 grommets in the back, and our catch can install will be complete.